Here in 3.6, I like to say that the textbook is making this way more complicated than it needs to be. What we're saying, this is 3.6 on 143, and I don't know why it skips all the way to the bottom there. On page 143 and thereafter is that we cannot use the same way we can with values for variables of the primitive data types. We cannot say equals equals to compare to strings the same way we can use equals equals to compare to primitive data type variables. So like two integers, two doubles, two floats, two characters. We can't do that. And the reason is a little bit complicated. I'm going to walk us through it here, and then we'll show you exactly how easy it is to compare to strings. The reason we cannot use name1 equals equals name2 is because they're not really comparing the characters that comprise name1 and name2. It's actually comparing the whole object name1 and name2. So an object is something that is stored in memory. An object is something that has methods. So we'll see that later on. An object has more than just a value associated with it. And the problem is that a string actually is an object. So when I compare Mark, the object here, as name number 1, to Mary, the object here, as name number 2, they aren't the same because they do not occupy the same location in storage, not because they have different characters in there. And that really goofs up a developing developer here in the beginning. Here's the payback. It's dot equals. So it is string number 1 dot equals, and then in parens, string number 2. If they're the same, it returns as true. If they're not the same, that returns as false. So here, I just want to make sure it's on the same page. It's on page 143. If, and then inside of our parentheses, we have name1 dot equals, and then inside of parentheses again, name2. That's all there is to it. This returns true, then Mark is the same as Mark, or Mary is the same as Mary. This returns false. Mark is not the same as Mary, and Mary is not the same as Mark. This is the one that you will use, is name.1 equals name.2. I'll tell you, you can continue on to read, and you can see the secondary methodology that the textbook has for you here. We can use string compare, whereby we would compare the value of the characters that are stored inside of Mark, and we compare it to the value of the characters that are stored inside of Mary. And if they do not return the same, they have a value. And that will not be a value to you until you take, advanced Java. And frankly, it's a long damn way around the block to compare Mark to Mary. So just use the dot equals because it's a boatload easier.